So if you like to walleye fish, but you don't want to spend money on a drift sock, I'm going to teach you how to make one for cheap, really cheap. I made this in a matter of about 2 hours. All you're going to need is a 6x6 tarp, some rope, a floaty that you can get for 99 cents at any store during the summer, and I used a variety of different ropes. One rope I recommend is a nylon rope, a floaty rope, and a carabiner hook. Now what I did is I took the tarp and I folded it over. I exposed 4 different eye loops and I folded them over to each other and I cut it off square on that side and I cut it 48 inches down here. I folded it over in half so I could tie the 2 eye loops together. They're actually in here but hidden. And as I laid it out like so, I just cut a wedge out of each side. And then I took and I overlaid them just about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and we got to get some good 3M brand duct tape. 3M brand duct tape sticks to this tarp material terrifically. Now from the inside, well, at first I took and I tied some paracord around the end here because there's a lot of water and a lot of current and a lot of pressure in there. I folded it out and I tied it again, and initially I had this rope go through the middle like I've seen in some drift socks. So if it's, when you pull it and it fills with water, the cord will pull out and it'll turn it inside out. Now that is a pain in the ass. So I just cut it, tied it back around the end here so that when this is full and you're drifting, it'll pull the end, dump it out, and you can draw it to you. Works way better. I'm absolutely thrilled with this. We've used this on at least 30, maybe 40 drifts in the time that we've been camping, and it works phenomenally. Then from up here, once you get it all taped together, I took about 14, 18 inches of the floating material that for swimming. I cut a slit down the middle and a wedge out of here, and I folded it around the top eye loop where the two come together, and you tie them together. And then I wrapped tape around to hold, and I ran paracord into the 3 exposed eye loops. Now I said to use 4, but the 2 that come together on the seam up here, you will actually tie together with this paracord to help for strength. Take 3 paracord, tie them together, get them all the same length, and tie a loop around the end, and just put a carabiner in there. Then I took a little piece of floating material and put around this because you don't want this part sinking down into the water. You want to try to keep this as close to the surface as possible. So I just put a little piece on there like that, and I ran the rope through so that this doesn't sink as well. This is the portion that connects to the boat. Now, I did something a little bit different than what you usually see, what you buy in the stores. Now this, normally you could just put to any one of the cleats on the side of the boat. The way our cleats are positioned on the side of the boat, we don't have one in the middle, but we do have them spread out. So I took another piece of rope and I just tied a bowline right here for this one to run through so it doesn't sink, and another bowline right here. And then I took and tied this rope here so that I can put it onto each one of the cleats. Now the great thing about this is if I want the boat to drift at a different angle either way, I can just shorten up one of these and lengthen this, or vice versa. I can leave them both long, or I can draw them both in tight to the boat. Now the way we have it set up, it actually drifts kind of long, so I may shorten this up to here, so this is the full length that it drifts from the boat. Currently the way it's going, it's working terrifically, and I couldn't be happier. For under $10, $15 the cost that it made to make this, and it literally cost us nothing because I made it out of things laying around the garage. So there we have it. And when you're all set and done, The great thing about it folds up small, quick, easy, doesn't take up much space. And just in case this did not work, I had some suggestions for an old school trick about putting a bunch of holes in a bucket and tying it off. Well, I improvised a little bit and I tied it like this so that we can just drag it from the side of the boat, and a little floaty on here that'll keep the bucket from sinking. Now we haven't even used this one yet because this works so good. So, always have a backup on hand. Let's go out on the water and show you how it works. Okay, you can stop.